Hey everyone, Drew B's Apiary here. Today we're going to be doing a quick, I'm going to do like a sugar roll on all 4 of these hives here. Just check them out. I did the Apivar treatment this summer. I think it went very well, but it's now been about 2 weeks since I last pulled those strips out. Had them in there for the full 45-day period. 2 strips for $4. And I just kind of want to see if anything's changed, if I've noticed it. I could have done a check right after I pulled the strips out. I just didn't get a chance to do it, so I kind of would like to do so now. Kind of know what I'm going into the fall and winter, what my numbers are looking like. I'm hoping they're little to none, but as we know, there's always going to be something. You're never going to get them all. A lot of people do or don't prefer the sugar roll for checking for mites. I prefer it only because I don't like killing my bees, and I understand it's not as effective as doing an alcohol wash. I get that. I'm willing to take a less effective way to check and not kill a couple bees. Again, that's just my own personal preference. I totally understand why people do the more accurate, the mite check, or the alcohol washes, stuff like that, to get a more accurate reading. So let's go in here real quick. I just got to remove this sugar syrup on the top, and then from there locate my queen, or try to locate my queen as best I can, or at least get some brood out, so that way I can get some nurse bees to actually do the sugar check with. So let's see if we can do that. I'm just going to set this off to the side. I put the sugar syrup on 3 days ago, and they've probably gone halfway through. Like I said, this was the weaker of the 3, but as you can see right there, they're doing okay. They're doing just okay. Put this lid on so that way we don't have anyone trying to get in there in the meantime. The cluster is really just between, looks like, my middle 6 frames. Got very few bees on the side, so I'm glad I haven't really increased this hive as far as adding a super, because I know they just wouldn't be able to defend it. So let's get this out real quick. Get in there, do this, be on our way. Bees are super calm today. It's very nice weather today out here. I think it is, it's probably around 60, honestly. Super nice. Could be like this every day while working with the bee yard, especially in Georgia. That would be optimal. So actually, I'm gonna just start, because I already know kind of where. Well, I'll check one real quick on the edge, because I know those are not being that well maintained. I kind of want to see what their stores are looking like. I put a pollen trap on this, and it wasn't that effective. They didn't really do much in the way of trapping much pollen, so I removed it. Like I said, it was on there for 3 days. They barely had any. Not many bees on here, but again, that was expected. But the comb looks fine, untouched. Just gonna give myself some room to do what I need to do. These are all pretty empty, but again, they have the syrup, so I'm just gonna figure out what is the deal with that. Alright, that's plenty. Seems like I just mentioned the clusters in the middle 6 frames. All the nectar and honey is obviously there as well. These left 2 frames that I just pulled over here, those things are just empty frames. I mean, it's drawn comb, but no damage to it. Very few bees on it. It's very interesting. And again, when I was here, even though I was here 3 days ago feeding them sugar syrup, last time I did an inspection was probably like 7 to 10 days ago. And what I can tell you is at that time, this lower box was largely full. All right, still more honey. Got some brood in there. Could maybe use this as a shake. Come back to that. Yep. Honey and brood. Alright folks, I'm going to turn the camera off real quick. I gotta go grab a bigger cup to load this with. I might use that one though for my example. Alright, let's see if we can shake the frame into this red bowl right here. Did not see a queen. Give one more check. I think she's probably somewhere on one of these three middle frames. Like I said, the cluster is very tight. I know there's some cat brood on here. I did not see no eggs. Obviously this is all just cat brood. Alright, so this will be just fine. We'll use this example because I said there is brood here. Alright, so obviously they're not going to be happy about that. That's understood. Let's see if I can get a cup real quick. Cup. Alright, let's see if that'll work for now. They're all in there, not having a good time. But again, this is gentler on them than doing the alcohol wash. That was the alcohol wash kills them. And the worst thing that this is going to do is just cause a little bit of frustration. Give that for about, oh, I'd say 2 minutes, and then we'll go over to the other area and I'll show you what that will look like when we actually shake them into our little testing water, essentially, so we can actually do an accurate mite count. It's a traffic jam for everyone trying to get back in after being shook out the front. Obviously I had that entrance reduced, I mentioned that in the other video, just down to 2 holes. So it's going to take them a little bit to get their bearings before they go back inside. Still a few out front on the ground, but they'll make it back in there. I think about 2 minutes have passed. The bees are probably ready to get out of there so they can actually get cleaned up by their sisters. So let's see what this sugar shake check. So this is just powdered sugar, right? Not granulated. Obviously you would never feed bees powdered sugar, but this granulated sugar, I'm sorry, this powdered sugar, it's good for doing the sugar shake. You can actually do a mite check. So they'll be very thankful to get out of there, I'm sure. Not seen anything yet. And again, this is one of the disadvantages of doing the sugar shake, is it's not a guarantee you're gonna get all the mites off the bees. You know, when they're kind of self-cleaning themselves, from what I understand, either the mites themselves just become dislodged, or maybe the mites themselves let go of being attached to the bees. Not exactly sure. Never seen it up close in action. But one. Let me see it up close. I think there might be one. Take this glove off and look at it up close. Yep, one. So, we know it works to some regard. Just to be sure. Hate to say I didn't try. But one's not bad for half a cup of bees. And it could have been just a little under, but all right, we'll try the next one. Continue on from there. Let's get these ladies back into their hives and get cleaned up. Right. Let's get these ladies back in there. I just kind of shake them out the front if I can, or up on the top bar. They will be very appreciative of getting back to where is home. Like I said, they'll all get cleaned up. They'll get cleaned up one way or another. So, but they're not too happy. Okay, that's good. Let's see if their sisters will help them out. One of these ones don't want to get out. Come on, ladies. They're not happy. There we go. All right, that's better. So what I'm going to do while I'm over here, I know they're all upset, but I'm going to take these two empties. I'm going to give them one of the strong ones and just trade, because again, I know I keep boosting this one, but I gotta boost it because it needs to be a lot better. It's gonna make it this winter. I mean, this is a nice cluster. I like seeing it, but you know, going in this time of the year, I should really be seeing a little bit more bees. And again, 10 days ago, it's looking really good. As we saw from our mite count, there was one. All right, good. So there's some eggs and brood. So we do have a laying queen still in here. See if we've seen our queen again today. Not yet, but let's see this frame up close so you guys can see it. Pretty soon, once a lot of these leaves start to fall, I'll get a lot more natural light back here. It'll be a little bit easier to see these videos outside of the shade. Got to work with what I got, but again, any beekeeper will tell you, try to keep your bees in a sunny environment. Don't try to keep them like this in the shade. You know, a good portion of the day that the natural light doesn't hit these ladies early enough. Alright, I'm not going to do anything more with this inspection. I know there's a queen in there. I said all I am going to do, let's just take those two frames out. Put two new frames in of more resources and then be on our way. So these are all good right here. Just these two. So I'm gonna take those away, give them to someone else. Probably going to be red or yellow hive, most likely. You know from my other videos, red and yellow hive are very strong. red and yellow hive could probably afford to make the swap. All right, let's give these girls a quick break, quick breather. Go into the blue hive. So I'm getting into the yellow hive right here. So, like I said, I'm gonna be stealing from this one. I just need 2 or 3 frames. I just gotta figure out which ones I wanna give, and ideally I'm looking for cat brood. I don't want eggs, I want cat brood. Because this population is huge. I think it'll be fine if we take a little bit from it. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. I mean, I've already taken a lot from it, unfortunately. So in a way, kind of setting this one back, but I think they can do it. Let me just check real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Cat brood. Cat brood is the name of the game right now. That one's no good either. For all the feeding that I've been doing to them, or whatever that miniature fall flow that I had, I can definitely tell that is long gone. I can tell we're going in the red as far as nectar is concerned. Kill this beetle real fast. One beetle down. That's kind of hard for y'all to see this. Let's see, I thought I saw another one. Just squished one, here we go. Got it. So gratifying. Should have been it, okay. So this is all just honey, nectar. I could, just for the sake of time, give them this. Make sure there's no queen on here. It's fine. I'll give them that one. Just got a little bit of syrup. Hate that feeling of disorganization. We just have stuff all over the place. And right now, I have stuff all over the place. Now you can't see it in the video, but more nectar. Plenty of nectar. Not a lot of drawn comb on there, but you know, it's there. Cute. Keep giving them that. More of the same. I'm gonna pause the video because I know you guys are probably bored me going through this, but I just gotta get my bearings before I show you anything else worthwhile. Alright Alright folks, I found a good one to give them. Look at this awesome brood pattern, both sides. Alright. I mean, just full of brood. So that's going to go to the green hive. So I can already see the next frame in there, which I'll show you here in a second. That thing is also full of cat brood. Let me put this in there. That'll be my first one. Y'all, I mean, you gotta take a look at, like, this is the second frame now that I've pulled out of the yellow hive. Just full. Both sides. Little play cup down there on the bottom. I know it's kind of hard to see in the video, but some of y'all beekeepers can kind of see that right there. Practice cup, just in case they do decide to make another queen already in place. I'm gonna leave this one with them because this one's just too pretty. They worked way too hard on this one for me to give it away. Next one's got some more brood on it, so I might give them that one, but not this one. Way too pretty. This might be as good of a time as ever if I'm going to give them this next one to do the next phase of testing this yellow hive for my account. Yeah, this one's just loaded. It's 2 in a row. Make sure I don't have a queen. And then this is what I'm gonna shake. I'm gonna shake this one in. Alright, don't see a queen, so as in on this frame. So I'm gonna shake them in there real quick so we can test yellow hive. No, they didn't like that. They never do. Get our cup. The bee's ready. Perfect, actually. The rest of these I can just dump right back in. All right, sugar shake from the yellow hive. Not sure if there's enough powdered sugar in this, to be honest, but let's see if we get anything. I already see 2. Like I said, this one was loaded on the brood frame, so give me a little bit more time. Yeah, it's definitely 2. Y'all jumped ahead into the red hive. Already taken the top hive feeder off, empty. Like I said, all but the green one had pretty much drank all their sugar syrup in about, 2.5, 3 days. It's basically been 3 days since I was here last. So I'm just gonna jump in here real quick, check the super, see if they're actually storing anything more than the yellow hive was, because to be honest, the camera right now is sitting on top of the yellow hive. Yellow hive, aside from the two deeps, the super is pretty much unfilled completely up top. So that tells me that, you know, they're using a lot, they're eating a lot, they're using a lot of nectar to raise brood. So at this point I just want to see if this one's any different, if the trend continues, because again, while I still can feed as long as I can. I want to see how good this queen is laying. I also apologize for some of the background noise. Some people are doing some yard work next to me. Let's take a quick peek. Empty. Empty. Pretty much all of it. Yeah. They must be eating a lot. Go any further through this. This super has little to no nectar in it, so I'm just going to put this back in there, yank it off real quick. I want to do a quick mite check on the red hive. Like I said, I'm trying to do a mite check on all just to see where we stand. A little closer. One thing this red hive is good at, it's sealing up. Got so much wax in here, in places I don't want it to be. So I'm trying to seal down the queen excluder, which that's not surprising. And this is the worst, is when these beetle traps, they basically become unusable once they get so, not just propolized or whacked, like, I mean, they just become so bendy over time. I don't know, you know, it's hard to really give like an exact amount of time that you can use one of these beetle blasters for. I mean, they are cheap. Try to get as much use out of them as you can, but it does suck when it's like, you know, you honestly wonder if beetles are even going to go in there anymore, because just the way it's been it's just been filled up. It's like not much to it. All right, let's try this one more time. So much wax, y'all. I wish you could see this. It's kind of hard to tell. Just to get one frame out, just so I have room to do the other stuff. Struggle. It's very few. I don't like seeing that little already. Like, this is a really strong hive, and already I'm not seeing a lot of sugar, nectar, I'm sorry, or honey stored. Let me keep doing my thing, and then I'll bring it back up once we find a frame with some brood on it. Found a good one for the red hive. It's got some brood, some cat brood, I should say. It's got some eggs in there too, but I don't see a queen on here. I'm assuming she's on one of the other frames to the right, so we're gonna use this one for the sugar shake. And then I'll put it right back in, and then after the girls get cleaned up, they can go back in. Again, I apologize for the loud noise in the background. These ones back in. Let all the others do their thing. They're on the ground out there. We'll move over to the other area. Alright, red hive. Sugar shake, I've already gotten 2 out. Let's not get any bees in there. There we go. This one has a lot of mites, and that makes me wonder how effective the Apivar treatment was. I'm counting, might need a little bit of time for it to settle. Compared to the other hives, which had a much more manageable mite count, this is ridiculously high. This is probably, I mean, this is over 10. That's not acceptable. So I'm gonna have to come up with a different treatment here over these next, as soon as possible. Let's see what I can do. Not exactly sure what that's gonna be just yet, but I need a plan for it. because these ladies are loaded with the mites. Which again, maybe the Apivar strips aren't as good as we thought, or maybe they're, I mean, I know they're a much gentler, weaker solution, but maybe I need to think about a different solution for treating. Just interesting that the one hive is loaded and the other two are not. All right, let me go get these ladies back in there to get cleaned up, and I'll come back, get a proper count, and then I will do some thinking as to what I want to do next. Don't know if y'all can see that. That's like 25 some mites. That is infested. And usually you want to keep it for half a cup of bees, keep it under 3. So even with those Apivar strips that I put in, that it got the full treatment, the full 45-day treatment, pulled off 2 weeks ago, has that much, that tells me it was not effective. But yet my other 2 hives, the green and the yellow, had below the threshold. Like I said, the green, the smallest hive, only had 1 that came up in the shake, and then the second one, which was the yellow hive, had 2. And again, Sugar Shake's not even as accurate as the mite wash. So that just tells me if Sugar Shake's not even as accurate and I'm seeing this much, we got problems. So we need to come up with a solution over the next week or so. Whether that's oxalic, which isn't even that good of a solution for this time of the year. It's something I have currently available until I can either come up with something else or figure it out. So just want to share with that. I got 1 more hive to go. Got the blue hive as our final one to do the Sugar Shake with. Hey everyone, this is the last of the hives that I'm gonna be doing the sugar roll with. This is the blue hive. I just started, I should have had the camera rolling before, but this one's looking as good as the first 2. So for some reason, and again, sugar roll is not the most accurate of the methods, but I only got 1 mite off of these here bees that were on the brood frame. Basically I had a frame full of brood, and normally you're trying to get a bunch of the nurse bees. Good chance that obviously the mites are majority underneath the cappings, right? So a lot of those mites are really interacting with the nurse bees, so it's not as beneficial to get just any bee. But if you can target those frames, and again, this is the, you know, the 3rd of the 4 that I did today. 1 mite compared to that astronomical 20-something out of the red hive. So, you know, the red hive was one of the Nooks that I bought this year, and I think they're like a Carney Italian mix or something like that. My blue hive, which I just tested now, is mainly Italian. I don't know if that means anything. Again, it could just be chance. It's just weird that all 4 of these hives, which are near each other, I've got 1 that's just got an astronomical mite count, and the other 3 that are neighboring it, at least just from this small sample size, it's hard to make a sound judgment based on that. It could have all just been chance. Only had 1 or 2. Like I said, the yellow hive had 2. Yellow hive's my biggest one. Red is equal in size to my blue hive, which you can see over there. You know, if you're looking straight over there, that's the problem child right there on the right. So I think what I'm gonna do, like I said, all 4 had gotten the Apivar strips, right? And clearly, I mean, I'm assuming it did something, obviously, because obviously my mite numbers, at least on those 3, are relatively low. This one right here, the one that's off to its side, has the ridiculously high count. I'm thinking I might go buy Formic Pro, the successor, I believe it is, to Max, because I've used Max before, and that thing's like an atom bomb. I've never used Formic Pro, but I'm willing to try it. But you know, it already being late September, it's still going to be a few months, like 2 months, until I really feel comfortable doing oxalic. And I could do oxalic, but it's just a lot of work still this time of the year with this. I mean, there's brood all over in these boxes, and so it's going to literally be a band-aid on a gushing wound if all I do is come out here and do oxalic 1 or 2 times in a row or 3 times in a row, whatever it is. It'll help, but I mean, it's better than nothing, but I feel like I'd rather just try something new. I don't want to buy Apivar again because that was 45 days for that full treatment. That was too long. I'd rather try this Formic Pro and try either the heavy dose or the lighter dose over the longer period and just hope for the best that I don't lose a queen. Because with Max, which is what I have some experience with, I have lost a queen using that, but it did kill all the mites. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I will wrap up this video for now. Like I said, just kind of want to show you all how I do a sugar shake. I'm sure you all can find it anywhere online, but just kind of show you the state of the hives. Like I said, those 3 are doing good. My biggest complaint getting into all of them is I've been feeding them heavy and those supers are barely full. The blue hive right there has a very almost full super of honey, but that super on the yellow hive, practically empty. That super on the red hive, practically empty. So they're just either eating it up really quick, even though I'm feeding them like crazy, or I don't know what. But you know, the deep bodies are doing great. Those have, it seems to be a good amount of stuff minus the green, which is why I stole 3 frames from there and put them into the green hive. But overall, kind of an indifferent day, and I think it's really only indifferent because of the stores situation, which I really thought I'd have more, and then obviously what we just talked about with the mites in that one. So I'm gonna buy Formic and I'm gonna give it a go, and at least that'll buy me some time until December when I probably will do my first oxalic treatment. I can't wait that long. I can't let these guys, I can't let these gals do a whole almost 2 more months, if not longer, of having a mite load that high going into winter. That's just gonna spell trouble. So I'll get that, and then I'll update you all on a later video as to the status of how that'll go. All right, if you guys have any questions or concerns, let me know below in the comments. I appreciate you all watching this. Y'all have a great weekend.